Welcome to this installment of One of a Kind. Quick little peek at the do-it-yourself wrap for $200, which with blades and everything else is basically what it cost me to do this. However, it did take me a lot longer than I thought, so know that if you're gonna try to jump into something this involved, that it is not something that you're going to be knocking out in a long weekend, even with some help. I'm not saying that there aren't do-it-yourself kits that you can buy that you can't do that quickly, but this definitely isn't it. This is not a kit that I pre-purchased. Every piece that you see on the car, except for the black, which was obviously the color of the car, is a pre-cut by hand piece. I've got some footage along the way, but it is kind of broken up, so I'm going to give you a brief description. You'll see some shots that don't actually have any sound. I'm not sure why the mic wasn't working. Of me actually applying some pieces. I'll throw a clip up of basically the process of cutting a piece. But I mean, really the money shot is the finished product walk around. So, you guys enjoy the video. So I made it to just about the door yesterday, and this fender right here took me about 4 hours. Now some of you might be like, wow, that's really good, and some of you might be like, Jesus, that sucks. But remember, I'm designing this as I go, and everything I put out, I didn't keep. I would put a piece up, and I don't like it that much. Kept changing it around until I ended up with this. And I'm loving how this is going. Except this red right here. Clean this again with rubbing alcohol. So I want something... I need to post heat right here. I'm getting some lift. I want something probably... I want it to look like it's going to connect. Yeah. Something about 10 inches. Now, while I have this over here, I'm going to get rid of the little 2-point and just run one. Okay. I need some white. Is this white? Yep. I'll pre-cut. Oh, didn't get rid of everything. I'll pre-cut over here on the table. I'd rather not do any cutting on the car. And I don't recommend, listen, I've cut a lot of graphics over the years, and I'm still very capable of digging into paint, cutting on the car. It's also kind of has a foil backing, and I can tell you it's a lot less forgiving than a regular vinyl. So definitely not a good vinyl to use for first time. So I want to run this so that it doesn't overlap, because if it overlaps at all, it's going to cause a bump on the white and it sticks out badly. So when I've got to split this body panel right here, I'm going to cut it right down the center so that I wrap around the door and this front quarter. I got a lot going on right here. I got the jack, pull out, seam, and my side skirt, this bevel in. Especially when I've got a change up where the door is and where it isn't. This little area right here is going to be tricky. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull this off clean. I guess we'll find out if this part stays. I'm going to use the side skirt to hold it for me. I probably got an 1.5 inch bend, so right now I'm going to try to go flush. Hold it right above the side skirt diffuser to make my cut and try to keep it somewhat straight. Make sure I'm tucked in that good. Okay. see how a piece like that can take as long as it did. It's definitely a time-consuming process, but the finished product is unbelievably worth it. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. And I don't know, I've already changed a few things on the other side, like as I sit back and look at it for a while. So I don't know if this is the finished product. It's in pieces of this over the course of literally 3 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer. That's how long this ended up taking. And I wasn't working on it every day solid. Some days I'd work on it 3 or 4 hours. Some days if I had it off, I'd work on it 6 or 7. All together, I probably have close to 35 or 40 hours in doing a wrap like this. But I didn't have an actual design. I was designing it as I went. And I did not use a single drop of adhesion promoter, which is just a fancy name for super glue, because this wrap is not a permanent fixture on the car, probably just for the duration of this season. The benefit of doing it this way, aside from some people thinking I'm completely crazy, because every single piece you see is an individual piece cut by hand, which is why it took so long. But I now have a wrapped car, and I didn't go out and spend $2,500 or $3,000. I literally sent a picture to a company and said, I kind of like this, but I don't want it to be like this because I obviously want my own thing. And they were going to charge me more just to do a design mock-up. $250 is what they wanted, just to send me some renderings of maybe this, maybe that. No actual vinyl going on the car. So for less money than it would have cost me to have somebody do a couple of computer drawings, I was able to do this in that. Not some big fancy shop. And there's no in between. People either really like it or they really hate it. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I really like it. Plus, it's not permanent. And here's another benefit of doing it this way. Let's say I did an actual wrap where the entire panel's covered. On the front, for instance. I've already replaced a couple of pieces on the front already due to rock jumping up and bashing into the front of my car. Oh, there's a nick in the vinyl. Now, some of that vinyl they use, even if you got all the way up to 4 mil, that's pretty thick, but it can still get damaged. So if I were to go and spend $2,500 to pay somebody to do this, and a week later I get nicks in my vinyl, there is no just fixing that one spot. You gotta do the whole panel. So I get a nick in anywhere, or I start to get some lift on a corner, I've still got plenty of extra of every color I have. So I peel that piece off and replace it. I look at it a couple of weeks later and I see another idea that I didn't think about right now. I pull it off and redo it. Like, in my opinion, this is definitely the way to go. Plus it gets you out trying to do something on your car, because when you're around a bunch of car people and you say, yeah, I did that, or I made that, it's a lot better feeling than saying, I bought it. God, that is just beautiful. I did all of this. So you get something and start doing it too. So you can see what this feels like. You guys, until next time, keep it custom.